What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well today and welcome to Camp SX. This is Mr. Baked Minotaur's most recent addition to his track releases, and it is the one and only dedicated campsite which leans into motocross/supercross in the world. This is a semi-custom track. A lot of it is based off of, I think he said 2009 Anaheim 1. However, he has obviously reworked things to work with MX bikes better. He's added in some sections of his own, and it's just the one supercross track, no massive compound or anything like that. But it hasn't got to be. This is his very first attempt at making a supercross track, and he's done some very good tracks in the past, my favourite of which being the Minotaur's Compound. That's always one of the favourites that we use when we're playing on the public lobby streams. I just got finished playing the High Society Motorsports Factory Nationals. So I am actually today, I have no idea where I'm spawned, so I can't even show you. I'm riding, there it is, there we are. We're rocking the factory, that's not a Yamaha at all. The factory Suzuki 450 with a very, very nice setup. Also, shout out to Mr. 327 for slapping a G Fuel sponsorship on there for me as well. So let's see how this goes. I'm really in the mood to do some supercross overall after all the nationals recently. So Minotaurs, no pressure. For all of you passionate gamers, you can now get 20% off all G Fuel products worldwide by using code LINS at checkout. And for any of you motorheads looking for some new drip or apparel, use code MXPR_LINS15 fxrracing.eu to get 15% off. All links and codes are in the description down below. Enjoy the video and drop a cheeky little like and subscribe. Right, so I've been doing this for 2.5 years now and I still can't record things properly. So if you look down there somewhere, you'll see 2 audio tracks where the audio levels are the same. I got it wrong. It's a minute and a half where the audio balance is going to be off, so I apologise. Hope it doesn't make a difference. Rightio, I had a bit of an L game moment at first because I slapped this on and I thought it was like a Brazil style gear, literally to find out that it had AUS in the name of it. It's literally the Australia like colourway, and I really like it. There is a Great Britain one that I have, but I'm just really enjoying the factory like Suzuki right now. I think it's one of the prettiest looking like cockpit views in the game, and there's nothing nicer than a pretty cock. What the fuck? So we're going to spin some laps around here. Mr. Minotaurs, I am a bit of a supercross connoisseur, I guess you could say. So definitely no pressure at all. You know, no pressure to make a good supercross track your first time round. I have first-hand experience knowing how extremely painful and difficult it is trying to get a supercross template that you're happy with. I spent hours on one, and the only jump that I actually liked was literally my 3-foot single. So I still had 5-foot singles, I had tables, I had dragon's backs, I had whoops that I really didn't enjoy my layout of. So massive respect to anyone that makes these supercross tracks. I like having more custom ones in the game rather than just replicas. I feel like when people make just different and out there supercross tracks, they are some of the most fun tracks in the game. And supercross is a bit of a weird one for me because I've always said I'm more of a supercross guy than an outdoors guy. I have also just realised that I had my voice recording on the same track as the game audio, so if one is too high or one is too low for the first 2 minutes of this video, I apologise, but it should be fixed now. So depending on the day, either really love or really hate me some supercross, and I don't know why. Even if I was to take exactly the same track one day and ride it absolutely fine, feel like I'm flowing all over the place, if I was to boot up the exact same track the next day on exactly the same bikes, for whatever reason I can't go in a straight line. I feel like I'm not the only one in that situation. I feel like a lot of people have good days and bad days on this game. I'm hoping today's going to be a good day because I have a soft spot in my heart for Mr. Minotaurs. He's always been very lovely to me. He always tunes into the live streams as well. He's always very supportive in those. So I like showing off these tracks for him. I think he puts a lot of time and effort into things. And whilst he might not be like a superstar in terms of like JV or Hell Machine level, he really does enjoy and is really passionate about making tracks and trying to improve his quality as much as possible, which you can only sit and respect. So I'm pretty sure I've covered every single one of his tracks other than one. But that's just I think there was other tracks coming out at the time, which leads me on to another little topic actually. Let's go off track for a second. What's going on with this game recently and the amount of tracks we're getting? I think I had a look and combined through MXB Mods and the MX Bike shop, there was something like 12 tracks released in the last week, which is just unheard of. I think if we remove tracks that are for series, like series specific, there's an Oceania series and there's like a Fuela track racing series, Kevin Fuela's one. If we remove those, it's still something like 9 in the last week, which is unheard of. So to all of you track creators out there that are constantly putting out content for us, W. Like, that's all I can say. Give yourselves a pat on the back. I really, I appreciate it. I'm sure the rest of the community appreciate it as well. And I'm glad to see people taking such an interest in it, because it's not an easy thing to do by any means. It's many hours of pain and suffering. And for those of you that have never like tried tackling making your own track before, I think everyone should give it a go at least once, just so you'll get a new level of respect for everyone that has done one. I've made one, and honestly, that's enough for me. Like, it's such a stressful experience, and I think depending on the kind of person you are, I don't think you're ever truly happy with the track that you put out. I feel like you can always say, right, I could have changed this, I could have made this better, this didn't ride how I wanted it to, this didn't look how I liked. So it's definitely a tough place to be in. There's definitely some perfectionists out there that just start and stop projects over and over again, never release things because they're not what they like. Aiden obviously released his first Supercross track recently. He sent screenshots in a Daddy Daycare Discord of like 3 other tracks I'd never seen before that he's made and he's just not happy with, so he's never going to release. And that's just crazy to me, because I put a lot of time and effort into my one, and even though there were bits of it that I wasn't a big fan on, I kind of got to the point where I was like, right, you know what? I can't do this anymore. The track is the track. I've got myself into this hole. Just, I'll release it and that's it. So yeah, massive respect for everyone that makes tracks for us. You might notice my voice might sound a little bit different right now.
What are they selling?
There is 2 reasons for that. One, I have a different microphone set up now. It's exactly the same mic. However, I got a boom arm for it now rather than a tripod. So previously I just had a tiny little tripod on my desk in front of me, and I'd speak into it that way. Now I've got a boom arm, so it comes in from the side, so I can actually have it closer to my mouth, which should hopefully make the quality a bit clearer. But also, the other reason my voice might sound different is because I think I said at the start of this video as to why I'm riding the Suzuki. I just got finished doing a live stream, and so it was a 250 and 450 races, you know, they had staggered races. So instead of me just sitting there doing nothing during the 250 races and trying to entertain the stream, I asked if I could be put in there, and I tried commentating them. And it's a very difficult job. So massive hats off to people like Reaper, Narvo, Cupcake, Explode. There's a few others in there that I'm going to get really annoyed because I can't remember their names off the top of my head. But to anyone that live streams races week on week, big W. It's not an easy thing to do. Try and keep things nice and entertaining the whole time. And my voice is now currently paying the price. It's definitely going. I hope you don't mind too much. I think it's not the end of the world. But it was one of, if you haven't watched the live stream yet, definitely go and check it out, especially the ending of it. Nice little surprise at the very end of it. Thank you everyone for the very nice words on that, by the way. I won't say much more than that. But I haven't had 2 motos of an outdoors race I think ever be as fun as they were. I was battling against both Yorks and D-Mills, and we was all kind of the same pace. It was kind of the same pace. Some people were faster on one side of the track and some were faster on the other, but it all kind of came down to really close lap times. And it wasn't a case of, we didn't have to try and set the world alight, you know, trying to keep up with people like Skills who are 3 seconds a lap faster. Because we was all similar speed, we was able to stay a little bit consistent, but then take different lines to try and overtake each other, and it was just a really genuinely fun race overall. And I definitely, if you want to see me actually enjoying the game, then 100% go and check out that live stream from yesterday. You won't regret it, I promise. Thank you, D-Mills, by the way, for hooking me up with an outdoors suspension on these bikes. I was really struggling. I found like it was quite pogo-y, quite springy, and then he gave me one that definitely mellowed the bike out by quite a lot. And I feel like some people think I have the opinion that these factory bikes are God's gift to mankind and they're perfect and they come without their issues. That's not the case at all. And you'll see on that stream that I prefer riding these over OEMs because that's just personal preference. But they both have their own pros and cons. I like the factory bikes because I feel like I can just hop on them and play the game, and they do what I think they should do. They ride how I expect them to ride, and they go where I put them. But I've had situations where, obviously the suspension can be quite springy and buck me over the bars. I've had situations where the front end can get really light and it will tuck on me. So by no means are they perfect. So I feel like I can give good pros and cons on both sides overall. So don't get like opinions twisted in that regards. There was a couple of moments in the races where the front end did wash out on me randomly, especially in qualifying. I had a lot of issues in qualifying, boys. Literally one of my lap times counted out of the 15 laps I'd done. I had no idea what was going on. So yeah, they're not perfect by any means. They are just my preferred choice for me, and I only, as a person, in opinion, to myself, and only me, in this moment in time. Hopefully that's clear.
Whoa, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9.
I don't feel like I've done a good lap on this track yet. My lap time is 1 minute and 2 seconds, well, my last lap time was, and I feel like this should definitely be a sub 1 minute track. It's actually a little bit tricky, you know, it's a little bit more challenging than I expected, because some of the like transitions, the landings and takeoffs, they're quite they're very steep and they're quite short, so you have to be very, very precise on where you downside these jumps. Otherwise, you're not going to get the right rhythm for the next bit. Supercross triple is a decent distance. If I could give advice, I would say maybe make the landing of it a little bit bigger. It seems like it almost feels like you're landing to flat. This section, absolutely fine, nice and easy, triple your way through there. Nothing difficult about the whoops. You can check up and then hit it as a split whoop section, or you can try and be brave and send the wall in the middle to see if you can then downside the last whoop. This section, nothing too difficult about it, but this one right here is a bit tricky. So you can jump onto the dragon's back and then triple and single into the corner, which has been causing me some issues, like landing into the turn, or I think you can check up and then go triple. But what I want to try, I wonder if it's possible to land here and then jump all the way into the corner. I feel like this could be a recipe for disaster, but that's what we're here for. We're here to try and have a little bit of fun and mix things up. So let's set a waypoint here, right there, and we're going to see if we can do it. So we're going to hit this section as normal. We go on, off, jump into the corner. We're going to rail this outside as hard as we can. We're then going to scrub and... Right, we're going to rail this corner. We're going to scrub it a little bit harder and then boing! No, I don't think it's got the lift on it to get you to quad all the way. So there's an alternate line there. There's check up a little bit and not land on the dragon's back. And then you hit the dragon's back, go single... No, you think you go... So you take off of this one here. And I think you can, if you check up, you can downside this one here and then double into the corner and keep your speed up for the corner. Or you can go for the bigger line where you triple, but you then end up singling, which costs you a lot of time. I don't think there's any way over the finish line. You see this little hump behind me? I don't think it's possible to get enough lift to yeet that and get up and over this wall, which is good because I imagine that would save you a hell of a lot of time from the little scumbaggy lines there. And if any bikes could do it, I definitely think it's the factory bikes because they've got just so much acceleration, and the suspension, I say, does seem to be a little bit springy. It lends itself quite well to clearing supercross sections a bit easier. Triple quad, triple double through here seems to be the move as well, seems to be the fast way. And then there's just one line through here, which is your double triple into your just second or first whoop section. Actually, it's the first one of the lap, second one on the track overall. But overall, I think it's a pretty good track, and I did say, I've suggested to Minotaurs before, looking at some of his work in progress pictures, I asked if there's any way you could use slightly lighter track textures, because some of the ones in the past, they've been a little bit like dark and grainy for me, and I feel like that takes away from the track sometimes. And of course, it's all down to personal preference and what the track creator wants to achieve on any given track. But I think he did take that advice, and these are definitely a bit lighter than what he's used in the past, and I definitely think it's a W. I think it looks a little bit nicer than some of the previous ones have done. He's got other little things dotted around, like we've got the animated flag in the background. Shout out Shady Wadey for those sorts of tutorials, getting animations in the game. Just little bits here and there. We've got some signage dotting around. I do think... Let me just double check, because I think he asked for my logo at some point. Of course, we've got the Earthworks ones. How can we go without those? We've got Earthworks, Red Rider, Jackie Moon, Dylan, Cody James, Reaper Doc, Kevin Fwader, MX Bike Shop, Virtual MX, Nico, Danny Alves Mods, and then myself, yours truly, and then some Red Bull watches. We got a few like tents dotted around to add to the whole like camp feel, a little bit of ambiance, and overall, decent track for his first Supercross track. I think he's done a really, really good job, and obviously now he's got the template. You know, he could just bang out track after track after track, which I'm here for. I look forwards to. W all around. So thank you very much, Mr. Minotaurs. Thank you all of you guys as well for watching. I do appreciate it. If you did enjoy this video, please do drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'd really, really appreciate it. Have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you're up to, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.